Have you ever looked around the room and thought, I love these people, but I can't keep doing life like this? Not because they've changed, not because anything has gone wrong, but because you have changed and the direction of your life no longer fits the rooms you're in. You still laugh at the jokes, you still show up, you still bring wine to the birthday celebration, but afterwards, something in you feels off. You're just not aligned with that group anymore. This isn't social fatigue, it's emotional misplacement. This video is for the woman who doesn't resent her circle, she just doesn't recognize herself in it anymore. You're not being antisocial, you're becoming more emotionally accurate. If you're new here, I'm Davina Dandridge, author of Brains and Baubles Do What Works for You, creator of the Emotional Sophistication Map and the Self Gut Check Method. This is Brains and Baubles Live, where high functioning women come to think clearly, lead emotionally, and refine the way they move through the world, not just for other people, but for themselves. And let me be clear, I am not a therapist. I'm not here to give you permission to ghost your friend group either. I'm a woman who has felt the weight of staying too long in conversations I've outgrown, and I know of the emotional toll of trying to honor relationships that no longer honor your future. There's a very specific kind of grief that creeps in when your calendar is full, but your spirit feels like it needs something different. You go to the events and you smile. You stay a little longer than you want to, but when you leave, you don't feel full. You feel smaller. You feel like you had to rehearse a version of yourself who fits their memory of who you used to be, but not the woman that you're becoming. That's emotional dissonance. You're not misaligned with your people, you're misaligned with your participation. Here's how you know it's happening. You start measuring invitations not by how exciting they are, but how much recovery time is going to cost you. You feel overstimulated in rooms that once energized you. There was a time I kept showing up out of habit, out of love, and out of fear of losing connection with people. I was the dependable one, the thoughtful one, the one who made people feel seen. But I realized something. I was emotionally clocking out, even when I was physically present. The brunches, the group texts, the quick favors, they weren't wrong, but they weren't in line with my next level. I was trying to honor the memory of the woman that I had been without realizing I was dishonoring the woman that I was becoming. And that's when I had to pull out one of my own tools. I used the self gut check method and I asked myself, am I showing up out of obligation or alignment? And the honest answer was it was out of obligation. I was performing joy and I was pre managing disappointment. You've heard me say this before. Your emotional calendar must match your emotional capacity. Otherwise, you're just logging social hours while abandoning yourself. Proverbs 14:10 says, each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. Your internal shift is private information. No one else can sense when your emotional peace is running thin. That's your job. It's your job to identify it. That's called emotional stewardship. Psychologically, what's happening is this. You've been conditioned to prioritize relational harmony over personal clarity. So the moment you pull back, even so gently, there's guilt. There's over explaining. There's fear of being misunderstood. But I need you to hear me now. Discomfort isn't always disrespect, sometimes it is personal development. In my previous video, What to Throw Away and What to Keep, I talked about being loyal to your future self. When your goals shift, your environment has to shift with it. Not because the people that are in your environment are bad, but because the emotional climate no longer supports your growth. You don't need to cut people off, though. You need to cut off patterns that keep you circling in the same version of you. Let me say it another way. It's not always about letting go of people. It's about letting go of the dynamic that says you don't get to change because you do. Here are your action steps for this week. Number one, audit your calendar with compassion. Go back through the last 30 days. What events restored you? What events required your emotional recovery? And what did you say yes to? Number two, rehearse the quiet no. You don't owe anyone a dissertation when you say no. You owe yourself emotional peace. Try saying no without an explanation this time. Let your absence speak for your connection. Because if you can say no without explanation and you're still connected in that relationship, then you're good. Number three, define the emotional climate your future requires. Do you need more solitude, more emotionally intelligent conversations, more mental space? Write it down. Clarity starts in writing before it becomes your reality. The Bible says, write it down and make it plain. You don't have to feel the guilt of growing. You don't need to apologize for needing something different. You're not withdrawing, you're refining. And if you're ready to understand where you're emotionally overfunctioning, go take the emotional sophistication map at davinadandridge.com. It's not just a tool. It will help you name the emotional behaviors that you've normalized so you can stop performing peace and start living in it. And if you haven't read Brains and Baubles yet, it's not just a book. It's a blueprint for women who are done dressing down their desires for the sake of emotional safety. Like this video, subscribe, and in the comments, tell me, what are you letting go of to protect your future? Because sometimes growth isn't an announcement. It's just a quiet exit with your emotional sophistication intact.